Hello everyone and welcome back to another Mara stock chart planning update video. I have a bullish trend signal here for you guys. I'm going to break that down in a moment and how this correlates with Mara as well, because this is a very important time. We can finally see Mara break up through these. We have these very strong resistance areas up here. We're not getting into this green. We're not holding sustainably in this green area. So I'm going to explain what can actually push us there, what I'm looking at with Bitcoin, and how that all comes together. But hope you guys are doing well. Before we do get started, everything in this video is just my own personal opinion. I am not a licensed professional. I'm just here to share and document what I am looking for personally, right? So it's not financial advice. So guys, with Bitcoin, because I'm gonna break this down real quick, and if you guys are in my free Discord, you already know, but I'm gonna break it down in more detail so you guys better understand. So I created this earlier today. You guys already know, if you've been watching for a while, you already know my breakdown of this chart overall and what we're looking for. But I realized, and this is super simple, a lot of you probably already seen this, but to me, I'm surprised I just discovered this. But of course, we've been seeing, so we have a high point, which is the overall Bitcoin high of just underneath 74,000, and then we have a low point, the first low of this move down right here. Ever since then, on the major side, we're not talking about the smaller structures, although you could still consider this because this point right here is higher than this, but we've had a lower low from here, and then a higher or a lower high from here, and then same thing, lower low, lower high, lower low, and then right here a reversal point. So this moment is where we are working our way up towards the final lower high and the final and confirming our final lower low. So what I mean by that is, ever since here we've had one more lower high and then we had a higher low. So higher low from here, higher low, we have a higher high right here, and then we have a lower low. So if you guys have been following for a while, you know that I've been keeping track of this area since before we reached it. You can look back at previous videos, and then we started coming back down after reaching minimum requirements for this uptrend. Ever since then, we are looking for a bit of a meaningful correction. So unlike this correction that was very shallow, very quick, this was a lot more meaty. Plus, if you guys like to use retracement levels from the bottom here to the top, the price does dip, and I'll change it so it's a little easier to look at. We'll do like that. So the price came into this area, breaching into this area quite a bit meaningfully, and then we finally start working our way up higher. Unlike if you guys were considering just this swing, like from here to here, this is much more different. You have to factor in the previous actual start of the swing low, especially if you are considering this swing low to this swing high right here. Super shallow, minimum requirements were hit, but super shallow. We didn't even get near the 0.5 retracement. So this is why it's very important to understand that we are on an overall, and I'm going to get into Mara in a moment, but this is very important for that as well. Ever since I'm confirming that the fourth wave, the overall fourth wave low is in, so right here. Ever since then, we're trying to wait to make our way up towards this overall fifth wave high, and what we have there is quite simply another 5-wave structure within it. So I have this second, so I drew it out in white, so we have a second here, and then a third number. I'll be able to give you guys the fourth one once we finally break into the third area. But basically what it looks like is that we want to look for we have a first one in, so we have it from right here to here. That's first, as you can see. So 1, 2, third wave should bring us up here, and then we'll have a fourth wave structure that I'll be able to give you guys once we have the third wave, and then the fifth will bring us up to $115,000 plus, right? And before we do reach that area, within the third wave move, we also have the same thing, which is a first wave, second wave correction, third wave, and then we'll have another fourth and fifth. I'm not going to get too much into detail on that one because it is a smaller structure wave count, and due to a lot of macroeconomic stuff right now, it's better off just to focus on the bigger picture than the smaller picture. Too much uncertainty to dabble in that stuff. But when it comes to Mara, and the reason this is very important, so guys, remember, we fell into this red area right here that I've been trying to keep a track of. I've been documenting this area with you guys for a little bit now, because we just recently bounced up from it. We found support in this area, quite well actually, between the 1.38 and the 1.236, and then we start moving up higher. So the benefit of this is that we have somewhat, we're still working on it because we're still trying to find resistance within this area. If we do break resistance past this orange colored area, then we can finally start looking to breach this larger triangle resistance right here. We are in the trajectory of it. We're on the pace to doing that. We'll see if October holds up and we actually start seeing higher prices. But the reason this is very important for Mara is because, if you guys understand, so one more time, this jump up from here to here, and then this correction is what it's right here. So we had very shallow, like a very shallow rise, and then October started and we had the big dip coming down, and now the price is starting to push up a little higher alongside Bitcoin. Now, the reason the price is also going to be very suppressed throughout this rally back to all-time highs on Bitcoin is because we still have high interest rates, right? Just because we had a 0.5 cut doesn't mean anything. Where you don't have a cut in October, there's one expected for November. But until then, they're still working on a lot of things. There's a lot of financial factors that have not been factored into Mara. For example, if you guys look at their most recent monthly numbers, they were able to increase their hodling for Bitcoin by quite a bit. They also increased their hash rate. They also plan on, I think, just over doubling their hash rate by the end of this year. So they have very, very, like, we're almost done with this year. There's not that much time left, and they have very strong outlooks for, what their productivity is going to look like within the next couple months. And that's very good. And they're working towards that. But the reason this is not factored into the price yet is because it's still a young company. There's a lot of uncertainty with I'm not going to get into it because it's political, but there's a lot of politics with how, what the future of mining companies can look like with regulations. And then you have a few, and it's just a lot of researchable. I'm not going to get into it. You guys, if you're truly curious, you can do your research on this. But there's a lot of expenses trying to create quieter and more efficient mining equipment. And then, still trying to expand and grow. And a lot of this, the reason it is not factored into the price yet is because the majority of Bitcoin mining companies that are out there, a lot of them are either going bankrupt or struggling. So they are being categorized as a whole. There's not too much diversity of these companies, how they differ actually factored in. Because again, this is still relatively a young technology. And it seems even more young because now is when we're really starting to see a lot of this hit the news media, and there's so much people out there that don't really know about this either. So we're still in the early stages, and once they mature a bit more, then we'll start seeing a lot more differences in these companies actually being factored into the stock price. But regardless, Bitcoin is moving up higher. We should see a decent start to the month, or to this trading week, as long as there's no surprise negative news out there and some crazy stuff just pops out of nowhere. But let's go ahead and look at the smaller picture for when it comes to Mara. I'm gonna stay on the 4 hour too. We have quite simply some resistance here, and very obviously we have support here. Now this is, in my opinion, very weak because a breakout is going to happen in either direction anytime soon, as long as Mara continues their very well organized operations. Because again, if you guys look at their monthly numbers that they publicate, they're making progress, they're increasing their productivity, and they're holding more Bitcoin. Even though if Bitcoin pops up and it makes new all-time highs later into this month, or even like just retest all-time highs later into this month, I'm expecting that we will finally be back in this green fib first level confirmation area. If you guys have been watching for, I haven't broken this down in a while, so I'm gonna do it again for those of you that are new. I have 3 levels of bullish confirmation for Mara because it is a very like hard-headed stock. It's not very doesn't like to listen too well. But we all still love it either way. So we have first level is unlike here where price did break into this price area and then briefly within the same day, like later, ended up getting rejected back down. So, the reason this is very important is because we did not have price strength within this area. So what I mean by that is, like, unlike just breaking into it and breaking back down, no, we want to see the price break into this, actually hold in this area for multiple, just like a couple daily candle close. We want to see price strength in this area. This will be first level confirmation where I can begin to unload portions of the lightly accumulated shares down here, because accumulation area. Then we have an area where we do nothing, because this is where there's a lot of value gaps, and by that I mean uncertainty in what the actual overall value volume wants to do. So unlike here where we start breaking up higher, rejected, broke back down. Here we tried breaking up higher, but we just came back down. Here we could do the same. We can either come back down, go up a little higher to this resistance, and then come back down. It is an area where you want to be very cautious, where you want to be very patient. This is the area where, and I said this like in so many videos now, set alerts, set a bullish alert and a bearish alert. Like, you can set an alert pretty much, again, once here at this first red line, and then an alert on this first green line, and then let the alerts tell you when to put in your time and effort into this stock. Because as long as we continue to consolidate and trade within this value gap, there's too much uncertainty. The price is too it's not going to really give you a lot of insights on what's going on. I highly recommend you do something else. Focus on a different stock, on a different asset, or look at some cryptos. Focus on Bitcoin, or just go and do something else, whatever hobby you have in your personal life, right? Like, you don't have to glue yourself to this stock. This is a very dangerous, low confidence area until we have finally a reasonable break of structure, either to the downside where we can start looking at trades there, or to the upside, reasonable break of structure, bullish break of structure to the upside, which can bring us up, finally trading within this green area and actually holding the green area. Second level confirmation will be breaking over the green area, same thing, sustainably break over it and start flirting with this swing high up here. If we can do this sustainably and actually show a lot of price strength there, then we'll have our second level, right? And then third level will be quite simply finishing this third wave high right here, which will be our third level confirmation, where we can start looking at potentially unloading all of our shares throughout this area, so we can start looking at potential shorts coming back down. But the reason, one more thing about being cautious, is if Bitcoin finally starts flirting with all-time highs and starts trading in that area, then we should be within the screen right here. Once Bitcoin finally reaches between $85,000 and $95,000, that's when I'm personally expecting, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong. I'm no wizard or whatever, But once Bitcoin is between 85 to 95,000, that's why I'm expecting this right here. In that area, I am expecting as well some consolidation, potentially even a little bit of a correction before we move up any higher, and then that's where this fourth wave will come in after that. Fifth wave would bring us up into this area, and this is when we start finally reaching potentially a bit over $100,000 on Bitcoin. We'll start trading in this area, and then from there I'll start being just very cautious because Mara can be very like crazy, hectic, or however you want to say it. So yeah, short term, guys, short term, just let your price alerts tell you what to do. I am personally, and I keep repeating this in every video because there's really not much else to it. I'm doing nothing whatsoever between the first green and first red because there's an accumulation area and the first level confirmation. Within that area, there's too much uncertainty. It's not worth my time. I don't look at this stock daily. I really just check on every now and then, kind of see how the levels are holding up. But I am no means looking at this chart all the time. There's just no reason to look at this chart specifically right now, right? So just finally just wait, let the price finally do whatever it's gonna do, and confirm a reasonable break of structure in either direction. And price alerts are amazing things. You can just get a notification on your phone or your computer, and it's just a way for you to not worry about it and go off and worry about other things in your life, or rather that's other trades you're working on. You can put more time into that, or just a hobby, or whatever you got going on. So let's just be patient with Mara right now, guys. Let's be patient with Mara. But I am seeing some potential bullishness being kind of somewhat pushed towards Mara because of Bitcoin right now, right? So we're finally seeing this is still a weak bullish trend up, because although we do have a higher low right here, higher low, and this higher high right here, just because we have this doesn't really mean much. We still don't have a 1 2 1 2, so we have like this first move up, so we have sort of like a 1 2, and then we want to see another 1 bringing it up here, and then a correction of a 2, right? So like 1 2 1, so it's 1 2, and then 1 2, and then from there we can start seeing if the all-time highs would then act as a support area. The other thing too is that this break up higher was very shallow. This does not tell me this is a very strong break of structure. This could potentially just be a way of liquidity to form in the market for the price to come down higher, which the possibility of that is of course likely. We're seeing it right here. But in order to confirm that is if we successfully, if we're able to retest this swing high. If this is just a form of liquidity, we could see easily resistance being confirmed in this area. So we can find out like sometime within this week, because the price will easily fall back down, get rejected. We can fall back down and easily break below this swing low right here, and then we can start seeing a bit lower prices from there. And what that look like potentially, and this is very aggressive, very, very aggressive, but this could potentially bring us back down into this area, which to me that's very unlikely. I believe we have seen too much of an extended correction, kind of aiming down a little bit, and we're finally seeing signs of somewhat of a decent, beginning stages of a reversal. So this is very unlikely to me, although it is still possible. So we can easily see rejection here, and then we can fall back down, breaking below the swing low, coming into this area down here. Another thing is, so if you guys look at, besides that being too shallow, indicating that it could just be a continuation of a bear trend down, or this could be somewhat of a bigger triangle pattern that's forming on this smaller picture right here. Something else that's telling me that is, of course, we still have a lot of these fairly, well-formed swing lows and swing highs coming down. So this can easily just be this can just be noise. This can just be noise, and this can just be one move like this, where we see like all these moves up, down, up, down, up, down. But it can be something like where it's just one big move, 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 one big move. Oh, that's a little. Wait, hold on. Sorry, that's a little too much. It's sort of like this, like this, like this, like this. So one big move, and then there we go. One big move here, and then we can see another move coming down into that potential bearish support area down somewhere in this area right here. So there is still likelihood of lower prices, because again, shallow break above the swing high, which now the question is this orange resistance area going to hold? We don't want it to hold, because we want to see Bitcoin finally start breaking up higher and then break up into this area. This right here, I'll remove this in a future video. I just like the way it looks. But yeah, we could easily see strong resistance right now play out throughout this week. But to me, this is a very healthy correction. There's a lot of the negative news that has come out in the economy within the last week. A lot of that's starting to ease a bit, and the RSI came down quite a bit. Although that's another thing, right? It's another thing. This is why we got to be patient, because now the RSI it's up there. It's up there quite a bit. Let me see what the 1 day looks like. Yeah, guys, we can easily see this come down a bit more as well. So resistance is there. I'm not trying to be bearish, and I'm not trying to be bullish. I'm just saying that it's very important for us to be patient, not to force any trades. And how about we just see what happens? Let's look at this consolidation area down here before I end the video. Right here. So we have some consolidation in this area. Let's see if this ends up acting as a support. If we do see the prices come down lower. Again, I'm not trying to force anything, but personally, what I am doing personally is I took this as an opportunity to accumulate more into BITU. I'm taking some trades. I accumulated, I think it's like 388 shares. I think my last video I showed a screenshot of that position, but I used this as an opportunity to accumulate. Now I have 388 shares of BITU, and I plan to hold on to that for the rest of October at a minimum. Halloween or the day after Halloween or whatever, then sell it. But the reason I plan on doing this is because I truly believe that we are working our way up higher, and this price is going to have its fluctuations, but it's going to work its way up towards this green bullish area right up here. So this might just be the market tricking us, or it might be giving us a hint of higher prices. We will see, and I will keep you guys updated on that. Again, one more thing before I do end this video. Wrong stock. There we go. Be patient, guys. Be patient. We are still technically in a bearish trend with Mara in the short term. We have made a lower high right here. This can just be a little bit of a bullish correction for another move down. Or we can see the price come back up and then just get rejected here once again. There's no reason to force a trade. Let's just be patient. Let's focus on other stuff for now and come back to this once it tells us to pay attention. It's as simple as that. There's not much to it, so I apologize. I'm not trying to hype anyone up, because I'm not trying to make any mistakes by getting in too early or being overhyped or forcing a trade, and then I don't want to see you guys also make a similar mistake. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video, and take care.